Secret rooms and you will never be invited to where they make decisions about you. They meet in secret rooms and you will never be invited to where they make decisions about you.
All right, so they're having secret meetings in penthouses with New York executives, crypto executives, Wall Street, all sorts of different folks, and we're just to expect that it's all normal business, nothing to see here. We're going to talk about the UFO the size of a football field. We're going to have a conversation about all of the UFO stuff that has happened recently, and then tonight's show will lead into our other show, which is going to talk about all of the world events. So this is going to be a very interesting show. It is not going to be a long one, but it is going to be packed with all sorts of great stuff. Before we get started, though, I do want to remind you guys we are independent. If you haven't already, make sure to go check out EMP Shield. This is an actual device that can protect your cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, pretty much anything that runs, including generators and solar generators, against not only EMP, but a CME or a Carrington level event from the sun. Make sure to get your discount at marfooglenews.com/EMP. You will get $50 off per device, and you'll be helping our independent news. Again, this is a device that you won't use until you need it, and once you need it, you will absolutely thank yourself that you're able to get home or to get out to bug out. So go again to marfooglenews.com/EMP and make sure to use the code MARF to not only give us credit, but to get yourself a huge discount. That is the same company that is outfitting DHS, DOD, and now the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. If you want the same protection on your vehicles and your home and your generators and your ham radios, you'll have to go there. All right, and let's go back to this. So this is absolutely crazy. I'm going to read this real quick, and before we do, let's bring in my co-host/internet brother, Dex James. What is going on, and how are you doing today?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
And remember, all of the every show that we do, we always have a full bibliography of every single article, tweet, video, picture, document that we're going to show you here today. Just go to marfooglenews.com and then click on today's thumbnail. It's very easy to find, especially today's. Of course, just look for Zuck's face floating above a table, and we'll talk about that in here in just a second. It says, whistleblower says that U.S. is hiding the UFO the size of a football field. Now, there is a real meeting. You could say, oh, claim. Well, there is an actual meeting. That's what is way more interesting than any of the claims that they say we have. It says a UFO whistleblower has said that the U.S. government is hiding a 12-meter TARDIS-like craft that is the size of a football field. It says that former intelligence officer David Grush made the comments at a secret presentation reported to have been attended by officials from the CIA, FBI, Wall Street, and even crypto, the bigwigs, right? According to Mail Online, about 60 people attended the talk in a New York penthouse hosted by cryptocurrency advisor John D'Agostino, a high-profile lawyer, John Altarelli. Photos were banned, but an anonymous leaker has shared images of Mr. Grush speaking and divulged some of his claims, including the TARDIS, which they said could manipulate both space and time, and use could harness enough energy to power 70,000 homes a year. However, they did not provide further information as how this would be possible. It was hosted by a Wall Street bigwig and his lawyer friend, said the source who leaked the photos. Now, what's crazy is the more information that comes out about this, it turns out that there were absolutely some huge, and very high-ranking officials that were going there. You have FBI, you have CIA, possibly, and this isn't confirmed, but William Burns was spotted in the area. So that may be a thing too. Obviously, William Burns, the leader of the CIA. You had, of course, Wall Street, and you had crypto giants and social media giants all at this very private meeting with this guy. What the heck is going on? And again, maybe this is a setup, and a lot of people talk about Bluebeam and other things that are going on and possible setups to trick us all into thinking that something is coming down on us, to get us to all unite and to basically be scared enough to say, yeah, we all need to get on the same page and stop all the wars and make sure that we have everybody above us controlling us for our safety. Who knows? But Dex, this is absolutely crazy. How many UFO stories have we had in the last 2 weeks? And it's all in the same time period as like all of the EpiPens things. But again, people are talking about that too. That's almost being used as a huge distraction too. Like that's front page. This is front page. What's on the back page, right?
Exactly. And I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, this is UFO stuff. It's just a giant distraction." And it very well may be, but here's the thing that bothers me. And yes, we've had Miami, we've had Vegas, we've had uh Jellyfish and others. You probably have to fill in the blanks. I don't remember them all off the top of my head, Adam, but we've also the point is, even if this isn't about aliens or UFOs, why is there a secret meeting being held in a penthouse room with 60 people with the two major three-letter agencies, CIA, FBI, and these Wall Street bigwigs? What are they planning? Why are they meeting? And why is it so secretive, where no one was allowed to take pictures or phone or use phones, although one person snuck a picture out, which is I think what they show in the article, which is showing David Grush making one of the presentations that was being talked about specifically around these alien crafts. But why is this meeting happening, and why is it happening in secrecy, and why is it in a penthouse in New York?
Yeah, and as far as like what was being talked about, what if this had nothing to do with UFOs? What if this was a reason to get all of these very, very high up people together so they could talk about any number of things that are coming? Now, I want to remind you, people like Zuckerberg are making a $270 million house with an adjacent bunker underneath. I guess it wouldn't be adjacent, but with a giant, what was it, thousands and thousands of square feet underneath his house. He's making a giant bunker, along with, of course, Bill Gates has made bunkers under all of his properties, which is absolutely terrifying. When you think about what are these guys afraid of? These guys are running the show. They are the ones secretly behind all of this stuff. Less Zuckerberg and more Mr. Bill. But it's like, why are they the ones preparing? When you look at the people that have all of this stuff, Mr. Bill is not like upfront about this kind of stuff. And it is proven that he has all of these bunkers, right? If he was saying to every news reporter, "Oh yeah, I do bunkers under all my houses," then I would suspect something, but he doesn't. The only reason we know that is because of contractors and, of course, satellite photos and photos that have all leaked out. And we know that he does this, and it's been known for a long time. But now, all of a sudden, all of these rich folks are essentially fire sailing all of their stuff. There are certain people that are in the very, very tight-knit circle of the families that run things. Those people are getting rid of NBA teams, or I'm sorry, NFL teams. They're getting rid of stuff. They're selling all of their stuff off. Why? And at the same time, they are all building bunkers. Now, most people say that they're doing this because they're afraid of a civil conflict, or that they're possibly afraid of something that, they know that we don't. Whether or not they do know something we don't, I would say look at the majority of all of these people at the very, very top. Why are they preparing at the same time as it is said that we are crazy for even thinking about this? As preppers, we all look at even the small percentages of things that could happen, and we try to prepare for that outcome. It's not, have to say it again, you don't get car insurance because you're going to get in a car accident. You get car insurance because you think you may. You get insurance on your phone. You get insurance on this. People don't do this for themselves, for their life. That's called prepping. Prepping is expecting the unexpected, or at least preparing for it and being mentally prepared. Right now, we have all sorts of wars that are going on. So a lot of people are afraid of World War III. But what if there's an option that we don't know about? What if there's an option that we just can't see coming? All the UFO stuff right now, it seems very, very odd timing. It seems like, they're getting us, all hyped up for something or the other. It makes you question events like the Miami thing. It makes you question everything. The Las Vegas, the guy who says, 8 to 10 foot. Everything is an 8 to 10 foot alien at this point. Mind you, in the last few days, there have been so many fake videos that have come out. And who knows, maybe a real one did come out, but you would never know because there's 40,000 fake videos that have come out along with it. Heck, there's one video I just saw that somebody shared with me that shows it looks like a praying mantis crawling across the street and through the things. people purposely cut off of obviously fake video that has this praying mantis running in front of cars and then cut it to where it's just on the grass and on a CCTV. These things look so real now, as far as at least they look like they would be hard to fake. But in reality, now there's a filter for everything. Heck, you could probably do it with a cell phone at this point. And there's so much confusion about why UFOs is being talked about. I would say if this is this much of a big distraction, then be ready for whatever the heck is actually coming. We know that we are going to be in for a rough year. 2024 is when a lot of things are going to go down. We know this. We know that they're supposed to pick the next prez, or if the current prez is going to continue, which a lot of people highly doubt. So this year is going to be it's going to be the year that a lot of this stuff goes down. And we'll actually talk about more things that have just happened today, rumors about ships, all sorts of things going on. Dex, as far as like David Grush, I would say it's like 50-50 for the people I've talked to that either believe him or think that he's some sort of part of some sort of big op. He's the same gentleman that essentially talked in front of Congress. Him and another gentleman have been like the two names that have been kind of circled around and talked about a lot.
Certainly. And this, to go back to this ship they're talking about, that's supposedly a craft that is being secretively held. There's two or three points about this that are pretty interesting. One, they say it can manipulate space and time, but the other one is the ability for it to harness and manage enough energy to power about 70,000 homes for an entire year. So that's a lot of energy it can harness and create. I think, the interesting thing about that, and I'm not so much worried about whether or not this craft exists, but I certainly go back to this notion about energy and whether or not energy could be much more affordable, free, or even be able to be created out of nothing, or out of not created, but captured out of other things that we don't have to do the way we do it today. And as many have speculated that Tesla and others had invented that in the past, and it was taken by the FBI and others and hidden for reasons to, obviously protect the industries that are here. That just leads me to believe that if something like this did exist, it would be hidden, because they wouldn't want that type of technology out. They wouldn't want people to have, unlimited free resources of power like that. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this is a true story, at least this craft, but it certainly is salacious. But if the meeting is happening, regardless of what they talked about, they did talk about the alien stuff. They probably talked about some other stuff, but why are these three-letter agencies, these executives meeting in a secret penthouse and conducting a meeting with about 60 people? That's pretty significant.
And 60 people is about the number you think of the people that really are more in charge than anything else. We think that there's, 1,000 people in every country that are at the very top of the top, but really, it really crumbles down to even the president in this country is answering to somebody above our president, above this. I mean, there's a very small group of corporations that are running almost everything. And then there's a small handful of people that are their kind of henchmen. These henchmen stretch out, but way more countries. You could take one person here that probably has power and influence over dozens of countries. And we're not talking about our president. So as far as like the gentlemen who are saying this, a lot of people are talking about Stephen Greer, Grush, all of these folks. We don't know the true intentions of all of this, but when they're talking about stuff that could control space and time, it seems like it's almost further commenting, because if they say it's out there, but they don't truly, commit to it, people are going to believe that they're covering it up. And that means that people are going to log into the back of their brains that space and time control is possible. That's also going to reduce the amount of people who believe, older thoughts like religion. It would reduce the amount of people that are going to believe in traditional religions. Just my side thought on that. Dex, go ahead.
Well, and here's the other thing. If you believe that space travel is going to eventually be possible, well, then you have to believe that people could actually travel here from the future, because in the future it would exist. So that depends on what your beliefs are, and if you think technology will advance far enough to allow you to warp time. Well, if that's the case, then they certainly will be coming back, those that are in the future.
And we talked about the Mandela effect, and has our timeline been changed? These kind of things have popped up more and more over the last 10 years. And it really does make you wonder. And I'm sure that most of us, even the hardcore skeptics, probably have the thoughts. You can't stop the thoughts from happening. That what if? What if all of this is real? What if in the next couple years we will have some sort of disclosure, or we will have first contact? Even if you're a hardcore skeptic that will never believe it, I'm sure you can't stop your brain from thinking it. So now we're actually going to go over a lot of really great stuff on tonight's show. So make sure to join us over on Marfoogle TV. There is so much on tonight's show. You cannot miss it. And if you're in the chat, you'll be ported right over. We're going to talk about North Korea's new nuke test. We're going to talk about the U.S. responding to North Korea. Iran just seized another tanker. And of course, U.S. strike Yemen pre-announced. It was very weird. I'll just point out that, of course, with that, they said, oh, yeah, by the way, we're doing a speech after our strikes. I thought that was so weird. And at the same time that they're striking, there was rumors about a ship being sunk. And it wasn't theirs, it was ours. Now, that's not confirmed. In fact, it's probably easily debunkable. But I thought it was very, very weird that that is coming out now. And then if there was a speech after this whole thing, it could be like, oh, yeah, they just struck us in the worst time. Why would they do a speech after? Basically saying like, hey, Houthis, by the way, we're about to attack you. And we'll meet you at 7 after we do all of our strikes and we'll talk about it. Usually they do a thing after announcing. Like they don't announce a strike. They'll strike, then they'll talk about it. But then they pre-announced, hey, by the way, at 6 p.m., we're going to strike a bunch of targets. And at 7, we'll give you a update. It's very, very weird. But anyways, we're going to talk about China prepares with vast undersea mapping. Something is going on. China butting into Taiwan. And of course, Taiwan preps for Cyber D-Day. DOD just says that $1 billion went missing. $1 billion. And then, of course, which U.S. cities are sinking, or at least they say they are. And, of course, new clues regarding D.B. Cooper. Very mysterious, very crazy. It's local here. This is a mystery in Washington that has plagued the minds of many. And, of course, prepare for the big chill. Apparently, we're going to have some huge, huge cold weather come in. So get ready. Again, prep for anything. Be safe. Be prepared. Marf out. Thank you so much, Dex. I appreciate you.
Much love. Great job, brother.
And we will see you over on Marfoogle TV. Thank you, FG, Fall Geeky. I appreciate your super chat. I will be shouting you out on the other channel as well.